All right, welcome to
All right.
Witchpolice Radio. This is another one of these. I call them micro interviews because they're sort of 10-minute quick hits, talking to artists about new projects they have, or even sometimes just new bands, new albums, things like that. And the guest on this one is someone who's been on the show before, but not in this context. I think that the best way to maybe start this off is if you want to introduce yourself and maybe give a bit of background about what it is that you're doing now.
Perfect. Yeah, I've been on the show before. I was in a band called Wittenberg, and we were on the podcast I think about a year ago, 2 years ago now.
I think
It
it's
was
at
a
least
little,
two. Yeah, yeah. It's been a while.
um, and since then the project hasn't been doing as much music as lately. And I started to kind of start creating my own work. And I created an EP throughout all this time I had on quarantine. And I made a project that I'm really, really proud and happy with. It was a collaboration between me, Emily Reese, the girl that sings in Wittenberg, actually is on the EP.
Okay.
And it was a nice collaboration album, just to form while I was waiting in quarantine. And I really, really just want people to kind of take a listen to it because it's something different than a lot of the projects I've been in. It's a lot more experimental, very electronic based. It's not as I would say rock as a lot of people
Right.
would expect from me.
Well, if I remember correctly, you were playing drums in Wittenberg, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I've had this transition now over. I'm actually doing the songwriting on the project. I've been making music and producing for a very, very long time, and it's a passion that never died out for me. I never really felt comfortable making a project until it felt right. And I
Okay.
think during quarantine, I started finding some ideas and creating more and more, um, I guess, structure for an actual project that I think I could, delve into a bit more. So yeah, it's a 4-track EP that I've made, and yeah, I'm super happy with it.
Are you releasing it under your own name, or do you have a name to this project will go under?
It's the project name is called Seweller. It's just derived from my last name, William Sewell.
Okay,
Um,
okay,
so yeah, it's essentially my name. It's a nickname my friends have always called me, so I thought like it's a little bit catchier than just my regular old name.
yeah. Oh, that makes sense for sure. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
this something that you've always kind of wanted to do? Like, have you always had an idea to release a project like this in your back pocket while you were playing with other bands?
Oh yeah, for a very long time. I've had like a weird like nervousness about it because I've always thought like someone would think of me as a drummer or
Right.
like not
Well,
listen
I
to it.
did. I thought of you as a drummer.
Oh yeah, and that's absolutely fair because a lot of my projects that have gotten attention, I've just played predominantly drums in. So for me, it was something I've always wanted to do. I loved making music for a very long time, and now that I actually feel a little bit more comfortable in my ability to create songs, it's something that I'm quite happy that I was able to finally do. So yeah, the long answer would be yeah. It's been a long time coming, I think.
Cool. Well, obviously, like you said, this is a pandemic project, and the pandemic, no one really knows when it's going to end or what's going to happen in the next few months and beyond. But is this something you're hoping to play live with if and when that opportunity makes itself available?
Oh yeah. Me and Emily, the song that we collaborated on, we're already planning on doing an acoustic version of it. Like there's a lot of live elements I want to actually do one day, but I don't want to have it as a traditionally DJ set. I would want it to have more live performance, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So yeah, I would love to perform one day, but I think I'm not quite at the point yet. There's a lot of technical aspects I want to learn before I put myself on a stage.
Yeah, and I guess would this be your first experience being kind of at the front of the stage if you're playing this live?
Oh yeah, it is so uncomfortable. I was like, again, it just gives me so much more like respect for like singers that have to like put themselves out there.
Yeah,
For me, like I felt like so exposed when I like created this whole project by myself because it really all of it is kind of all the eyes are on you.
sure. Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it was weird to find to for people to like come and actually just enjoy what I've created by myself. So
And you just put this out, like at the time we're recording this, you just put it out a few days ago, right?
yeah, I put the EP out and there's a music video out for the EP as well that I am much happier with than the EP because the people I collaborated with, Fast Track Films,
Okay.
they did such a phenomenal job of recording and lighting. It just looked so beautiful. So, and it's the main reason why I really wanted to come on and talk about it, because the work that they put into the video and how it looked and how it sounded, it was so well done. So
Cool.
yeah, it was it's both very new out, so I think people will enjoy it.
Have you had? I mean, I know it's super new, but have you had any reception to it from people you know or listeners just giving you feedback on what they think of it?
Yeah, a lot of people, like a lot more people that I thought that were like they were going to listen to. Like I thought, when I released it, maybe like a couple people here and there would take a listen, but pretty much all my friends have taken a listen to it and they
Cool.
really enjoyed it.
What's so is Wittenberg, what's the situation with that band? Is it on hiatus or is it over? Or what's going on there?
So Wittenberg is still a project that we're working on. Emily has several songs, and she actually has a book that she's been writing for a very long
Oh,
time
cool.
now that
Okay.
she wants to release. And for me, I've always kind of been, I'll play drums once you want to go back to live performance, but I wanted the creative aspect to be more on her. So I guess my answer would be it's gonna be out when it's out. I don't have a for sure date, but there will be more stuff in the future.
That's cool. Yeah, cool, cool. And then where can people find this? I mean, like you said, this is a new project for you. I'm sure people who know you know where they can get to listen to the EP. But if someone's hearing about this for the first time on this podcast, what's the best option for them to track down the music you're doing and give it a listen?
On Spotify, Apple Music, all the essential streaming platforms. The EP is on. It's on as Seweller, so it's spelled Seweller. And that's out of the easiest way to find it. It pops up on Spotify pretty fast now too. And it's also in like every link of my social medias.
Cool.
So yeah, it's all pretty
It's
much
out
if
there.
you know. Yeah, if you know me, you'll be able to find it.
Right on, right on. And then, like, I know this is again, it's a pandemic project. It's something that a lot of people are doing cool stuff like this because they have the time and no shows to play, or their main bands are on hiatus because of the pandemic. Do you expect that this project will continue making new music afterwards, or will you be too busy with other bands and other projects?
I'm gonna be doing this for a long time. I honestly, it was a long time coming.
Yeah,
It's for me, my standard, I think, especially with working with really talented people, it's gone way up.
yeah,
So yeah, it's gonna continue after. It's probably gonna be like an every now and then thing as opposed to consistently. Because as you said, I'm working in other projects. I love working in bands, so really I kind of fade in and out of each one. But this one, my own personal stuff, will be a lot more consistent than I think most bands I'm in.
cool.